Okay. All right. So, you mentioned something, when we started, that your music is more like inspirational music. And that you're a Christian, and yes, you do mention God and Jesus Christ, but that's not everything in your music, which is wonderful. But you do know that I know, coming from Nigeria, I think that sometimes people want to put people in boxes,
Hmm.
and it's like, okay, fine, you know what? You're saying you're an inspirational artist, and you're saying that you're a Christian. So why isn't all your song about Jesus Christ and God? Like, why is it that you're talking about other things too within your music? So how do you intend to deal with that kind of comment? Because you're going to come across it, definitely.
Oh, definitely so. I already come across it because, I do music reviews online. I also have this group on Facebook, the Music Reviewer. So this conversation has come up a lot of times. The thing is, there's other things in life. There are other life circumstances that happen to human beings that is beyond religion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm more, we are spirit, we are spirit first. So I'm more coming from a spiritual perspective, even
Yeah.
though my content may not be, gospel according to the Nigerian standard,
Mhm.
but there are some other issues in life that
Mhm.
happen, even to Christians,
Yeah.
both who love relationships, you get married,
Mhm.
you have downtimes in life,
Mhm.
there's loss of loved one,
Mhm.
there's so many life circumstances that happen, and songs can, if you if you want me to use the Christianese, minister to those different aspects of life as well. You
Mhm.
understand? So,
Yeah.
you have dating Christians or married Christians. Love songs might become applicable. Clean love songs can be applicable. So
Mhm.
clean is the key word there. You have people going through emotional times because uh, we are human beings, but we are spirits that have a soul that live in a body. So we have songs can be directed at those different aspects of the
Mhm.
human self,
Mhm.
of the human being. You can have songs that are spiritually uplifting. You
Mhm.
can have songs that are emotionally encouraging, and you can have songs that are just physically moving. I guess that's where songs like maybe the club bangers come in. But for us for Christians, you can be selective in what you listen to because
Yeah.
songs actually powerful. So whatever you listen to affects you. So if you want that physical enjoyment, so to speak, you still have to be selective in what you listen to. So
Mhm.
clean, good songs. There are good songs out there. So long and short of what I'm trying to say is that you make music, and if you decide to make a content that is directed towards the spirit aspect of man, it's fine. And that's where content comes in. So sometimes it could be inspiration can actually apply to both the spirit and the soul. I'm not trying to go really deep now, but I think I'm making sense. But I hope it's not going too deep. Well, songs can actually uh, be directed towards the spirit or the
Mhm.
soul or the body.
Yeah.
So inspirational can be spirit or soul, or even sometimes body too. You
Mhm.
know, you can. I know the inspiration is usually used to the soul and spirit aspect. But if someone that wants to physically exercise in a way, you're dancing and you feel some people when you exercise, when you dance, dancing is exercise. So when you
Yeah.
dance and you exercise, you feel good. You feel good about yourself. It
Mhm.
affects your health. It affects your well-being generally. So songs all have different purposes. So I could release a project today that's tagged as gospel, and
Mhm.
people shouldn't be surprised if I release something next time that it's more, something like an Asha type project. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
about life stories and family situations and what we go through in life. Well, the
Mhm.
long and short of it is, is it adding value to your listeners? Is it adding value to your audience?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Is it adding
yeah.
value to your audience? Okay. You have your new project, which is coming out, next year, actually, January,
Just in a
next
couple
month,
of weeks.
actually.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and I know that you did most of the songs, if not all of the songs here in the United States. What are the challenges that you faced?
Well, that's a very that's a very good question, and that's very relevant to me actually because no, I'm an independent artist, and I have a passion for fellow independent artists. In fact, my project, because I'm kind of in the last stretch of my master's program at SCAD, and it's in arts administration, and my thesis is about independent artists and challenges they face, especially in the marketing process. So, as an independent artist, during my research, I realized that the very first challenge that I face is finances versus maybe if a record label finds an artist, they invest in them, they don't have to worry about it. This music is expensive. That's what people don't understand. They hear the end product and they enjoy it, but it takes a lot of financial investment it's expensive. So that's the number one, I would say, as an independent artist. Then also, thankfully though, there's been some breakthrough. There's the internet. So, marketing almost free. Social networking, that's fine. You can digitally release your own project by yourself. You have all the digital outlets out there, So the challenge is generally for independent artists, which I am, is that maybe the marketing aspect, having to get the music out there, beyond the social networking, because sometimes you have to be able to balance everything. You can be larger than life online, but how about on ground? So you still have to, market yourself, because there's nothing wrong in marketing yourself, because that's another misnomer that I might have to refer to gospel artists here, because they think, God's music and everything, but you still need to market yourself. How will people hear your music if you don't put it out there? So marketing, that's another hurdle to cross, but which has been made a little easier with the internet and with social networking. But it's all marketing and PR is beyond that. So that's another challenge, because marketing also needs money. It all comes down to funding. And, well, I think that's basically it.
Okay. I think you touched a very important point there, with the issue of funding, because when you talk to independent artists, that's the huge headache. Like, okay, how would we raise the fund to get this project done, and also to get this project also out there? So how are you raising funds, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, that's why I'm taking, like one day at a time. It's been a long time coming that people had expected me to put something out there. That's why the EP is actually called Finally, and that's why it's an EP, not a full project, because I'm not biting more than I can chew, So, that's why you even have all these artists like releasing single, they just single. And you're like, okay, where is the real thing? Because it takes a lot, So personal funds, and these songs that are coming out actually have been recorded like 3 years ago. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's time. That's I said, finally. It's time to put them all together. So I've recorded them, so I just remixed them. I added like one or two fresh ones. I remixed them. So it's weighed a little less on my pockets, because it's something that I've done, taken my time, and I've done over time. It's not like it didn't really I didn't really feel the impact of it versus if I'm just doing like 14 songs at a time. That is way above board financially. But it's all like most independent artists. It's all been personal funds. I know some other independent artists take advantage of all these fundraising sites online, like Kickstarter and stuff like that. There's also another one called Pledge Music, but I just didn't push that. Well, I've had the support of my family, and then, a few friends here and there, and it's been so far so good.
Okay. All right. Okay. you've mentioned, your family, which is great. And of course, I know that you're Nigerian. And also you've mentioned also that you're pursuing, you're actually almost done with your master's program in arts administration.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Being Nigerian, we know that a lot of the family members, your parents, they prefer that you follow a particular pathway. And generally, it's not in the arts. And you're there, you're singing, you're entertaining, you're following this, to the master's level, which is a big deal. What did you have to do to convince them that this is what you feel that your calling is, to perform, to entertain, and to use your music, to reach others?
Funny enough, I didn't have to do any convincing.
Yay!
I didn't have to do any convincing. They've been very supportive. My family is artistic,
Okay,
it all started with my grandma. That's really where I draw most of my musical influences from. Like I said in my bio, my profile, she always holds my hand to go to choir rehearsals. Like she's always singing in the house. She was a Catholic. So I was surrounded by music growing up. And then my mom, she's into broadcast. She was a broadcaster, and she's now a PR person. So the entertainment industry, I grew up in that too. She was one of the pioneers of the NTA, Abeokuta. She was a newscaster, so it was just natural, funny. And they always knew I sing, I've always sang, growing up in church, so they always knew I had the voice, and they've been very supportive, my siblings, everyone, My younger sister, she's artistic. She paints. My brothers, they're doing very well in their chosen call. So the family has been very, very supportive.
Okay, that's great. Okay, now you mentioned of course your inspiration, and you mentioned that you getting your inspiration basically from your family members who have followed this pathway, which kind of made it easier for you,
Yeah.
But let's talk about other people that you draw inspiration from, other musicians. So what other artists can you say that you draw inspiration from? For the kind of music that you perform.
That's a long list. Okay. Let's start with the legends. Mother Miriam Makeba, of blessed memory.
Yes.
Nina Simone, the African American. She's also a jazz legend.
She's great, yeah.
She's great. I just love her so much.
Yeah.
And then coming back to our generation, there's Asha. I call her my sister. There's Indiari. I call her my sister. And then many others. Going back to Nigeria, Christian Esen Ibokwe. I listen to a lot of Ebenezer Obey, King Sunny Ade, not to mention those two. Our generation again, I admire Yinka Davis. So Angelique Kidjo, I love reggae, so I like Bob Marley, Ziggy Marley, all the Marley family members. Coming back to America, there's Liz Rice, all the soulful people, Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill, love them all. Gospel, Kim Burrell and the Clark sisters, top it for me. Female, Kim Burrell, they're just exceptional with their vocal skills. And I don't know if it's a family thing, but gospel male, I love J. Moss, who again, I love Mali music. So, that family of music I love. And I listen to a lot of them. I've been influenced by them. Yeah.
So what's on your iPod right now?
What's on my iPod right now? There's lots of Asha there. There's Adele. There's Kim Burrell. There's a few. There's Israel Hudson, Don Moen. Supporting all my Nigerian artists. There's Nosa, who I absolutely think has something going for him. His voice is exceptional. His voice is soothing and inspirational. I don't know if you've heard of him. His song "Always Pray for You" was a single that really,
yes, he's really good.
Went out there. Yeah, he was one of the first artists that I kind of did some promotions for online at the time. Nigeria, there's this new guy that I just discovered, D-Tone Martins. There's Victor Debayo, who I also see on your
Mm-hmm.
that you've
Yep,
interviewed
on site,
before.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then American, there's Jason Mraz, there's Jack Johnson, there's who again? Yeah. Then Nigeria, I love Beautiful Nubia, Lagbaja, you know.
Wow, your taste is very eclectic.
My taste is all over the place, like, it's just eclectic, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good actually. It's wonderful when you can get ideas and tones and messages really from all those different artists, because they all have their different styles of presentation, which I'm sure that you're going to incorporate into, or you have incorporated into your own your performance and your music. So how do you draw a balance then? Because you're studying, you're doing this music thing. I'm sure that you have something else you're involved in. How do you draw a balance? How do you know when this you put enough time into this and you move on to something else?
Yeah, yeah, I really need a lot of balance because I have a family. I have my husband and my 2 boys.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, and I'm in school, and then with the music, and then with with work. So yeah, it's just a matter of being, first of all, mentally organized and having, like, I see it this way, like having compartments for everything. Well, of course, family first, and then the others fall into place. I don't take more than I can bite, like patience, you have to be selective, so it has to work around, availability with family and everything. But yeah, I try to just make sure I stay accountable, I stay organized, kind of make sure, everything is put every other thing apart from God and family, I put them in compartments, and I make sure, it's all sorted.
Okay, all right. You know that sometimes there's this saying out there. I don't know if you've ever heard it. That the only men can compartmentalize. Women have difficulties putting things into their little compact. We want to measure everything together. Have you heard that one before?
Not really. What I've heard is that women like to multitask.
Really?
Yeah. That women are better
At
multitasking.
Yeah. Maybe we're probably saying the same thing. Because guys have to focus on one thing, one compartment at the same time. Yeah,
I guess it's true.
Okay, so what do you expect with this the new EP, coming out?
The new EP coming out, what do I expect? I expect people to be blessed by it. I expect people to be encouraged. There's a variety of songs on there. There's a worship song because I'm a worship leader, and I more even an everyday life per ministry. I'm even more comfortable with worship songs. There's also there's one mainstream song of encouragement on there. There are 3 other songs. There's of course the Baba's Love that I released talks about God's love. There's another one that talks about God's mercy, and then the Sound of God. So I expect people to be inspired. I expect people to be to be encouraged, to be blessed, for their spirits and their souls to be ministered to. So I just pray that it will be a blessing to anybody that comes across it. And I've been getting good feedback with Baba's Love. People are loving it, and I get comments like, "Oh, it's very refreshing," which is a good word. It's refreshing. It's soothing. So that's what I want to hear, because I believe every song, like a producer friend of mine said one time, I believe Flo is his name. He said every song has its own life. He has his own kairos. It's like it has legs. It walks into people's lives. It does something. So I believe these songs will have it's their own kairos, it's their own time, it's their own divine timing. So as anybody who comes in contact with them, it will do something to them. It will affect them. It will add value to them. So that's what I expect this EP to also do.
Yes, yes. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so what do for people that will, they're gonna of course listen to your finished work in January, and they will come and they might say, okay, you know what, wow, I love this, this is great, and I just want to be just like Tosinger, what word of advice would you give them?
What was that last question again?
If they want to be just like you, what word of advice would you give them?
Oh, words of advice. I believe that every person on earth is blessed with a gift. Mm-hmm. Some might be similar, but I believe every person, just like our fingerprints, they have unique giftings that God has placed in them. Mm-hmm. So if they have a music gift, they have to. It depends on where they are in their level of discovery. Mm-hmm. First of all, follow your dream and stay determined, stay focused. Mm-hmm. Don't give up. Mm-hmm. Don't let all the issues of life or maybe discouragements that may be coming from unexpected places. Don't let them get you down. Be focused, be determined, and step out. Because I stepped out, and it took a long time for me to step out. But before you step out, make sure you're prepared. You don't step out unprepared. You don't act under pressure. So the time is a friend at this time. So use the time that you have to develop yourself first. In book terms, it's called active development. Don't come out, unprepared. Unprepared as in, with your talent. Make sure you're excellent in it first. Develop yourself. And then step out, and then be determined while you're stepping out. And then follow your dreams, make good contacts, network with the right people, be on the right team, So that would be my advice.
Yeah, okay.
My advice.
So what's up with the Tosinger? Like, I get Tosi. Where did the J come from?
It's actually Tosinger, like finger and Tosinger.
Oh, Tosinger. Okay.
Finger, all over the place. That's okay. I've had different variations, so you're not the first. It's fine. It's finger. Yeah.
So what's Tosinger, like Tosi the singer?
Yeah, exactly. That's it, yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you do to prepare before you get on stage to perform?
What do I do to prepare to Of course, you pray, because everything is not by your power, it's not by your ability. You've seen some very good people, like it's just, but you need to, first of all, spiritually prepare yourself, like pray. Even secular artists, I've seen artists that don't believe in God get backstage and pray. So you need a God presence. You need enablement that is not just human. You need divine enablement. So you need to pray. I pray, and then I do my breathing exercises, because breathing relaxes. So you breathe deeply, because no matter how good you are, even the Beyoncés of this world, the big stars, they get nervous. They get nervous. So breathing exercises is proven to relax the nerves. So you breathe deeply and just go for it and give it. I go for it and give it my best. So I get on stage and I make sure I do my best and make sure the people enjoy themselves too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So we've talked a lot about your music and stuff. Where can we get the music from? When it comes out in January.
Yes, it's gonna be online on CD Baby. It's also gonna be on iTunes and Amazon. Those are the three main outlets. There's gonna be more. There's gonna be in other outlets, but those three main places is gonna be available on there. And I also have physical copies. I'll have a link on my website, www.tosinger.com. So if you want to order a physical copy, I can arrange that. So but it's going to be available online, also on my website.
Okay, all right. So, is there anything else that you want us to know about you,
We basically covered everything. That's just me, and Tosinger, singer-songwriter, artist. I promote other artists as well. I'm also a writer. I'm a poet. I write reviews, music reviews. I also write articles. You may see some articles online. My name may not be on there. That's what's called ghostwriting. So I do a lot of ghostwriting.
Yeah.
I'm just a woman of the arts. I'm earthy, Afrocentric, and I love God. So, and I'm also a mother and a wife. I guess that covers the basic.
Thing. One of the things I actually enjoyed about, when I was talking to you and I asked you about your music is how you broke it down, about, sometimes I think as Christians we can get caught up in certain mentalities about ourselves and sometimes about other people. And it's very important that we have to remember, that at the end of the day, God is love, it's just what it is, and yes, we can get our inspiration just from a plain Christian song, or we can get our inspiration, God can talk to us through a music that is not just, it's not Christ, Jesus, it's just something else as well. He can talk to us through different ways. He can minister to our souls, through other methods too as well. So I actually enjoyed how you said that. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about this, all those things. We talked about your music. We talked about who you are and how you got into music and performance and everything. I also know that you are an African in the diaspora.
That's correct.
Yeah. So what for those Africans because we have a lot of listeners in Africa, particularly in the southern region of Africa, what would you like them to know about being an African in the diaspora? What is it that you would like them to know about that?
Being an African in the diaspora, I think he has his own positives. I like to dwell more on the positives. If you can set your heart to do something, you can achieve it. I'm not saying that can happen anywhere else, but because there's some opportunities that present themselves here that may not come easily back home. So if you take advantage of those opportunities and actually do something, you stand out, because there are lots of Africans that are doing well here, academically, business-wise. They're doing well, so it can be a challenge, trying to maintain your culture, but it depends on where in the diaspora, because some states have a diverse mix of cultures where it's easy, you can get your music, you can get your food, you can get your clothing, but living the lifestyle can be a challenge for some other people, but that I make sure that I don't lose that. For example, my children, I try and teach them my language. There's even an app for that. So I teach them Yoruba, so I make sure that I don't lose. Of course, I tend to travel or try and travel home like once in 2 years or something. But, whatever we Africans in diaspora can do in order not to lose that African touch, we do. That can be a challenge. So that's one. And what else? Yeah. But, Africans generally are doing well, but in terms of maybe trying to maintain that culture, that can be a challenge. But we just have to make what we have and do the best we can. Maybe try and, impact those cultural things into our children, or maybe try and come home once in a while, yeah. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for
Tosinger. Yes.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, Tosinger, yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on your show. I appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Anytime.